Close your eyes for a minute and picture in your mind a pious religious Jew. What image comes to mind? It's not an image of me, I'm pretty sure, and not even of Rabbi Posner or Rabbi Yoga. Rabbi Wecker starts coming close. But for the average Jew, for the average person, you say religious Jew, and the first image that comes to mind is black hat, black coat, pious, and beard. And as Rabbi Elon Adler used to put it, that just describes the women. But no, that is the picture that we have. And that picture is causing us a lot of trouble these days. Literally the world over. We are living during a time of a worldwide plague. And invariably, the areas hit worse with the highest rate are the areas of those who are pictured as being religious Jews, whether it's in Israel in Bnei Brak, whether it's in England in Golders Green, whether it's in the United States in Rockland County or Borough Park. The rate is the highest because those religious, pious Jews are not observing the law. They're not observing Jewish law. You've all seen the pictures, thousands attending weddings, attending funerals, thousands attending services, gathering together without any masks, without any social distancing. No, I know, it's not all of them. It's enough of them that the rates are the highest amongst them. And in so doing, those religious Jews are violating Jewish law. They are not being very religious. And this is not my opinion and not the opinion of Rabbi Posner or Rabbi Yoga or even Rabbi Wecker. This is the opinion of the Chafetz Chaim. This is the opinion of Rabbi Akiva Eiger, the Chafetz Chaim, one of the greatest halachic decisors of the 20th century. Rabbi Akiva Eiger, living in the 19th century, one of the giants of Jewish law to this very day. Listen to what they said. Rabbi Akiva Eiger, when there was a plague at that time, I think it was cholera, wrote, "In my view, it's true that gathering in a small place is inappropriate. But if it's possible to create in groups, it should only be 15 people. The same process should be 15 people, varied from time to time. And they should be careful that more people than 15 should not push their way into the synagogue. Perhaps a guard from the police should be to oversee them." That was to come to pray. He was limiting it to 15. A wedding? A bar mitzvah? A funeral? And you've seen the pictures. Here's a picture from this week's The Economist, from a funeral that took place in Israel. Do you see anybody wearing a mask? Go to the Chafetz Chaim in the Mishnah Brura, where he has written in the Bir Halacha, if someone wants to fast when the disease isn't raging, in other words, when the virus is calming down, the Chafetz Chaim says he shouldn't leave his house. When he does go out, he should be forced to put something over his nose and mouth with some camphor and a little grass. The Chafetz Chaim is saying to wear a mask. Rabbi Akiva Eiger is saying to socially be distant. And religious Jews are breaking the law. Let me tell you another law they're breaking. It's a law found in this week's Torah portion where we're told, when you encounter your enemy's ox or donkey wandering, you must take it back to him. When you see the donkey of your enemy lying down under its burden, you must nevertheless raise it with him. If your enemy's donkey is wandering, if your enemy's donkey has fallen, you are obligated, this is one of the 613 commandments in the Torah, to help lift up your enemy's animal. Why? Well, on one level, the Talmud tells us this is so that you should overcome your natural desire to see your enemy have a problem. But there's another explanation for this. It's found in a Midrash. The Midrash tells us once there were two donkey drivers and they were driving along and they hated each other. And one's donkey fell. And the other one didn't want to help him, but the Torah says I should help him. So he goes help him. He helps fix him up. He talks to him. One thing leads to another and they go and have a drink. And from enemies, they become friends. The Haredi population in Israel is disliked enormously. Over the years, they've been resented because their children don't serve in the army or give any national service, because many of them live on welfare handouts from the government, because many of them don't work and don't develop any sort of a secular learning to make them contributors to society at large. Here was a chance for these Haredim to reach out to the general public, to the secular community, and to say, we're there with you. We've got a problem. We're going to confront this together. Here was an opportunity for them to say, Kol Yisrael Arev was that all Jews are responsible one for another. Not only did they cause more hatred now amongst Jews, but what of amongst non-Jews? Big pictures in the New York Post when New York is being hit heavily by the virus of religious Jews celebrating and gathering together. This is another law they're violating. They're causing a Chilul Hashem. They're desecrating God's name. I can't change them, but I can just tell you that Rabbeinu Yonah says that the only antidote to a desecration of God's name is a Kiddush Hashem, is to do things that sanctify God's name. So let's, you and me, do it and show everyone who's really religious. Shabbat Shalom.